We are asking the President, William Ruto, that if indeed you are behind this, then it has gone against your own promise to the people of Western that you will revive the sugar mills in 6 months.
The biggest problem that we have in Kenya here is politics. It's really actually bad politics. And when I'm talking about politics, I mean all politicians, be they MCAs, members of parliament, members of Senate, governors, There's bad politics that really is so toxic that has messed up this country for ever since independence. If you talk about tribalism, it's just politics, bad politics. If you talk about corruption, it's just the politicians and bad politics. At the end of the day, politicians are messing up this country, for sure. I don't really care whether they are MPs or they are governors or whoever they are. At the end of the day, they are the problem that this country has. And here, I'm not talking about any political party. I'm just talking about politicians, whether they are in UDA, ODM, or whichever other party, regardless the party or whichever. You see, so politicians are the problem. You see, right now, there's this issue of the sugar factories in Kenya, and very well, we all know that they are the politicians who have messed up these sugar factories because they've stolen money from government, and that's the reason why sugar factories will never work. Today, there are politicians who have come up in the name of Sifuna and other Western politicians. And the other time I heard Anyang' Nyong'o talking about Muhoroni. By the way, for your information, these sugar companies are not tribal companies. These are national assets. And the last time I checked, these are supposed to be actually run by the national government. Until you change the law, you politicians in Senate, Parliament, and wherever, that is the way it is. It's so unfair that you are now messing up with the farmers. Why is it that banks have been running in this country without politicians and we've been very successful? So this bullshit by politicians should really stop. They should decide if they want to make these things, community or tribal sugar companies, then let the government sell it to the places where they are located. Or rather, you sell to the farmers there so that, it's not a headache to the exchequer anymore. If they still want the national government to try whatever they are trying, the way I think Ruto is trying, then they should let them do it. But they should not actually be making noise every other day, stressing everybody in the country, and coming up with nothing, because I know for sure, it doesn't matter whether it's Sifuna, it doesn't matter whether it's Anyang' Nyong'o. I know for sure that for as long as all these politicians are the ones who are still talking the way they are, then these factories will never get out of the woods. That I can tell you for sure. Or rather, even then, the national government just sells them. I'm pissed off.